This episode of Under the Apron is sponsored by Anchor. If you haven't heard yet, Anchor by Spotify is the easiest way to make a podcast with all the tools you need, all in one place. Just type in anchor.fm on your browser and start creating that podcast that you've been talking about starting all year long. Take advantage of Anchor's creation tools. You can record, edit, add music, or any type of audio you like right from your phone or computer. Anchor will then distribute your podcast on many different listening platforms, such as Spotify, Apple, Google, or even Stitcher. And that's just to name a few. It's everything you need to make a podcast. And want to know what's the best part about it? Absolutely, totally free. Join us and download the Anchor app on your phone or go to anchor.fm on your browser to get started right away. Link will be in the show notes.
What is up? This is Fuck It, Let's Talk with your host, Christine. Monthly, I'll be here to discuss the ups and woes of parenting and explore topics with other parents, or not parents, in hopes of finding a little sanity. Just a warning, the keyword here is puke. Eventually you'll get it. So come join me where we explore honest takes on parenting and life. Don't forget to follow on Spotify or subscribe wherever else the podcast is available. Be sure to check out the polls on Anchor, where you can also show some support if it tickles your fancy. And if you want more, head on over to the newsletter, F It Let's Talk on WordPress. I look forward to chatting with you. Fuck it. Let's talk.
Not many people know the story, but I did touch on the backyard wrestling story a while back in August when I came back from my break. It was during the Christine TikTok interview on episode 51 when I mentioned her that I was in the Backyard Dogs movie as a clip. The movie stars Walter Jones. You know the original Black Power Ranger? Yeah. I'm not next to him, I'm not near him, but he's in that movie. I'm just there as a clip. You can tell the many things wrong with that clip when you see it. We used to do a lot of stupid things back then. I call it the jackass era. If you know, you know, even though they said don't try this at home. We were young and stupid to actually try it at home anyways. Not the backyard wrestling stuff. As soon as that became popular, WWE had to change their intro to include it because they're the most popular brand at the time. They just bought WWE. But then again, it's like we didn't just see WWE have nitro parties and fans get thrown through tables while WWE aired on their shows. Just blame the other guy for whatever happens next. In time, it wasn't fun anymore. To most of our friends, we started dealing with the pain, the injuries, the concussions, not being able to remember some things. It happens. Again, we were young. This episode is not about going back there, though. At least, not yet. But giving you the story as to what you're about to hear next. To be transparent, this isn't a wrestling episode. This is Wrestling with Diabetes Part 3? No, wait. Not yet. Let's try this one. Wrestling with Relief. My, that sounds so bad too. Wrestling with a chiropractor? Okay. We should, no, hold on. Welcome back, everyone, to another fun and sure to bring you back to the old days episode of me resurfacing after a small hiatus and coming to you from Under the Apron. I have a few episodes in me at this time. This is one of them. The other will be in a few days, and it'll be about WrestleMania 12. In a week, I will be guest hosting on another podcast for the fourth time in my podcasting guesting career, so to speak, if that is such a thing. And then I'm going to bring you WrestleMania predictions and possibly the results when it happens in April. But after those episodes are done and over with, I will be taking another small break so I don't get another burnout moment. Think back to June, July, August of last year. We are trying to avoid those moments. But I will be back soon to possibly celebrate the 100th episode in due time with all of you. So, the relief part, should I include that? Wrestling with relief? Sounds so bad. That sounds like... Nah, let's just call it something else. When I tell you that I had the most amazing weekend, your boy over here finally went to see a chiropractor. So let me explain and take you back to 2019 for those that don't know. I was working at a casino as a runner slash busser slash bartender, and I had this nagging injury for a while on my hip. This injury has been lingering since 2015 perhaps. So I finally was able to go to the doctor about my injury, got some x-rays done. I was told that I had arthritis on my hip, and either I needed to do a few things. Lose the weight. Doc wasn't playing. Lose the weight, he said. I was about 250 or 60 more or less around that time. He said lose the weight and recommend I go to physical therapy or, this is a big or. This is a big or get surgery. I weighed my options. I asked my boss at the casino what would happen if I got surgery on my hip. She told me that I wouldn't be able to walk around like I normally do. This was a big casino. The runner job that I had in the buffet was no joke. Every night I would check my Fitbit and I would do up to 15K to 20K steps. On special nights like let season, we would do lobster night, and that would have me running around up to 30K. Nothing too big on Christmas Eve or day because I would usually take one of those days off. But New Year's Eve, I worked at this place for 3 years, and let me tell you that NYE was packed and lit. That made me go up to 40K to 45K steps. That was the busiest we have ever been. Alright, so the casino has this ruling that if I'm not able to do my job due to an injury or I'm recovering from surgery, then go to HR and they will have me doing desk paperwork until I am ready to come back. So, record skip. I immediately told the doctor, no way, I don't want the surgery, I'll do better. And I did. I've mentioned this before in the podcast. The casino has a small gym area to work out in, so I chose the physical therapy and they helped out a lot. Massages, workout on the hip, all that jazz to help make me feel better. At the time, a few friends were doing a challenge and I wanted to join them so bad, but my therapist said, no, not yet. You're not ready. So I had to wait it out until April of 2019. As soon as that was good to go, I started working out again with a few friends who were doing the workout streak still. They let me in. I worked out every day without stopping. Yeah, it sounds dangerous. I know. I wouldn't advise it. Again, I did stupid shit. But this was 5 years ago, so, even as an adult, I do stupid shit. It's okay. But I found a loophole around the rest days, and that would be doing yoga. Not just any yoga. since I'm a wrestling fan. DDP yoga. Bang! So from April 2019 to March of 2020, I would work out at the gym. I've mentioned I hated it and something I should have done, shouldn't have done ever. But friends were doing it, so why not? Again, stupidity. Whatever. That is until I found out that they stopped doing it months before I did, and were just proud of me and my commitment. Yeah, fuck that. I hated doing that. They should have freaking made me stop also. I hear people tell me that I should go to a chiropractor to check on me because I've worked this hard. So 2020 happens. I can't do the chiropractic appointment I had because we can't go anywhere. And at work, they all tell us to go home, don't come out. I still try to do my job work. I still try to do my workouts from home until they take my job indefinitely. They tell me your job is done with. We don't know if you're going to be coming back. But if you do, you're allowed to do this other stuff. Like, I don't want to do other stuff at a casino. I just wanted my job as a bartender back. No. Alright. I make a small gym in my basement. I clean out some stuff. April hits. I stop working out. I almost do an entire year. I think it was up to 315 days, something like that. I stopped at 20 days short. I was fine with it. I didn't care. I didn't fucking care anymore. From there, diabetes happened in 2021. 2022, I start the podcast. This podcast. I'm sitting in one position, editing and producing stuff. So I'm always looking down, slunched over, and on my computer. Finally, here we are in 2023. I call for an appointment. I go to the appointment on Saturday, Kennedy Avenue Chiropractic in Highland, Indiana. I get there just in time. They usually close on Saturdays unless you make an appointment. Unfortunately, my phone was at 45%. I didn't charge it overnight, or else I would have recorded the whole process. Damn it. So I'm in the waiting room for at least a few minutes. Dr. Ahmad comes in. Awesome guy already, guys, because as soon as he saw me with my Flash hoodie, this hoodie right here, he loved it. I was amazed by the action figures in his cubicle. This man was a fan also. He had a 12-inch Red Hulk figure, the Smart Hulk from Endgame still in the box. He had Batman, he had the Batmobile, some anime stuff. This dude was my dude already. Nice, right? So I told him everything that's been bothering me from the Jackass generation. So I tell him everything that's been bothering me from the Jackass generation, back then. Stuff that I did when I was stupid. To now working from home as well as my hip. He takes an x-ray and shows it to me on this big ass screen. First thing that I was surprised, and he tells me right away, dude, your back is straight as an arrow. I'm like, what the fuck? What? Are you sure, sir? Are you sure, doc? Like, yes, look, it's fine. Like, dude, I've freaking been thrown off a ladder, power bombed on grass, thrown through tables, and you're telling me that my back is fine? I'm like, what? What is going on here? I All right, so cool. I don't question the thing. He thought the pain was all in my mind. Like, yeah, he probably thought the pain was all in my mind. Cause I kept thinking like, oh, my back, oh, it's from, you know, bouncing up and down, hurting myself, being stupid when I was a kid, RKOing people, because that's what I used to do. Um, I didn't question it. I was like, all right, cool. I don't like phantom pain. Um, I don't question it though. Like, um, you know, it nothing's bothering me. Then cool. Next up is the hip. It's not aligned right. Um, he tells me, like, your right hip is bent this way when it should be this. It should be straightened. So I'm just like, okay, that's what I've always had problems with the hip. And he also says there's a curve right there on your L1, and what he's gonna do is gonna readjust it so like it can be aligned with the other hip. So I'm like, all right, cool. He gives me a few workouts though that I should do when I'm hours of work podcasting and editing and streaming. It's like, all right, just stand up, do this workout, and you'll be fine. Fine. I've done them. I'm doing them. It doesn't stop there. From there, he tells me, um, like, all right, so I'm gonna do that to you. So I was like, all right, cool. So Doc Ahmad tells me what's about to happen, what's going to do. Shame on me for not having my phone at 100%, because the rest of it was fucking amazing, dude. I'm telling you. He takes me to the table. I had my podcast shirt on. He asked me what my podcast is about. I tell him the usual stuff, wrestling. He starts saying, it's like, oh, like WWE. Yes, sir, like WWE. You talk about The Undertaker? Yeah. You talk about Stone Cold? Yeah. You talk about The Rock? Yeah. Sometimes. Oh, who else do you talk about? Well, mostly 80s and 90s stuff. Oh, you talk about Hulk Hogan? Yes. You talk about Macho Man Randy Savage? Yeah. You talk about Andre the Giant? Yes, sir. So I'm just like sitting there, we're all bonding about it. He's a freaking fan from the 80s and 90s. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. So, um, but I also tell him like, but I also talk about my health, my diabetes, um, movies, TV shows, video games, all that stuff. And he realizes like, I gave him a little nudge right there, like, you're gonna talk about this place, right? But he doesn't say it like that. He just realizes that I'm gonna be talking about my experiences, regardless of how I feel, if it went good or bad, I'm still going to tell the podcast. I'm still going to record about it and mention how they helped me because they did. Hopefully, he's following me on Spotify. Hopefully, you guys are too. From Under the Apron. Years of watching chiropractic videos on YouTube has prepared me for this moment right here. Breathe in. And as I breathe out, he cracks. Yes, we're off to a good start. Oh, and then, and then he does the neck. Let me fucking tell you. Let me fucking tell you. As soon as he did my neck, I felt the whole world lifted off of my shoulders. I was told ahead of time coming in that I was going to feel like a new man. Shout out to Jay Blue for that one. I came prepared, but I was not expecting to have this relief that just felt so damn good. He did the legs, he crossed over the hips. You've seen chiropractic work on YouTube where you put your hand right here. I cried. I fell asleep. I cried and fell asleep. It was the most beautiful pain I could ever imagine. Those moves I've seen on YouTube. If you've seen those moves, he did everything to me except for the Y strap. I was fine. And, just because, I'm going to say this just because crack addicts are going to love me.
are listening to Mama Murdered a Podcast. I'm your host, AB. Mama Murdered a Podcast is a podcast where me, the mama, will be killing it on the podcast. We'll be taking a deep dive into things that are hard to talk about and even harder to believe that these things actually happen in the world that we live in. This entire podcast will be a trigger warning. I'll be talking about triggering topics while I dive headfirst into a lot of the cases that I'll be covering. New episodes will be released every week on Wednesdays because nobody likes Mondays and because Fridays are for day drinking and barbecues. Some of the case topics will be murder, of course, serial killers, like Dennis Rader, the BTK killer, missing persons cases, like 5-year-old Summer Wells, who vanished from her own yard in broad daylight in the middle of June in Tennessee in 2021. And especially the ones where it kind of seems like they just vanished into thin air, like Brian Schaefer. He walked into a bar, but he never walked out. He's still never been seen again. I'll also be covering cold cases and lesser-known cases. Join me every Wednesday to talk about all things tragic, murder, and things that happen in the downright ugliest sides of society. If you like what you hear and you want to support the podcast, you can rate me on Spotify. You can also leave a review and rating on Apple Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at murdered_mama. All of these things are free and they only take about a second to do, and it really does help grow the podcast. If you have any case suggestions, please send them my way. You can send them to the email address mamamurderedapodcast@gmail.com.
Before I continue, the candle that I got from Dark Fate Creations is almost out. It still smells like Fruit Loops. So I'm probably going to get another one, and I have my eyes on one and just in time for April. That's birthday month for those that don't know. The one I got a few months ago for Christmas from them was called Serial Killer. And according to the creator of the candle and owner of Dark Fate Creations, Liz Newman, friends since high school by the way, she was inspired by the Halloween episode I did in October. So I'm definitely going to be ordering Let Them Eat Cake. And this one smells like lavender, vanilla, and buttercream, deliciously blended to create an elegant slice of heaven, aka cake. For those that are new here and want to support a small business, check out Dark Fate Creations. Their candles are vibrant, colorful, marble tops, amazing, mouth-watering fragrances, fueled by lovely braided cotton wicks. Paper threads woven into every cotton wick for clean, romantic, slow, and consistent burn. Each candle is unique from the next, as they are hand-mixed and hand-poured, right in Grass Valley, California. They use only coconut and soy waxes, paraben-free, for a safer, cleaner, and longer burn time. That's almost 72 hours. They not only care about the look, fragrance, and quality of their candles, and as well as the other products, but also the effects they have in your homes. So just check out some candles. I burn mine every other night. I'm about to start the podcast, and don't forget to include a car diffuser. The link will be in the show notes. So for my lower region, the hip and the L1, he does the drop table on me. He sets it up a few times, pushes down, and it worked on my hip and L1. After he gets done with me, he tells me to get on the massage table while the masseuse. I didn't get his name, but I know I should have. But, that guy was awesome. He places like a gel pack on where I'm supposed to be laying. There's a cold gel pack. But he also places 2 small little cold massagers on my right hip. I lay down on this table, and for 10 minutes, the thing vibrates on me on my right hip, while the table massages my back from my tailbone to my neck, and I loved it. So after the 10 minutes, the receptionist comes over, changes the table, and she lays me face down, and she works on my back muscles, my hip, and the best thing ever. Again, another 10 to 15 minutes. I was out of it by that time because I got up and couldn't see a damn thing. I was freaking out of it. She tells me drink some water and get some rest because I'm going to feel sore, and tries to get me to reschedule for another appointment. But I'm too dizzy and looped out of it, so she tells me she will call me Monday. Oh, man. Alright, so the aftermath of that, okay? The next day, today, this is me today. Took some ibuprofen, So yeah, I'm feeling relaxed for some reason. Like yeah, there's the relaxing part. Um, like every time I sit up straight, I hear cracking and like freaking somebody said loosey goosey. So like I'm feeling that. I'm feeling loosey goosey right now. Apparently, um, I'm cracking everything again. Like my back every time I sit up straight. Ooh, there it goes. That is natural. I understand that. Um, the legs are fine. The knees are fine. My hip is feeling great. I just did the workout. I had a little break from the podcast and did the workout that the doctor told me to do. And yeah, um, that was pretty awesome. I'm feeling good about it. 10 out of 10 would definitely recommend. I'm here for it. I finally got what I wanted all my life, living with this pain. Okay, not all my life, but I finally was able to get a chiro to crack me, and I feel relieved. Whatever stress I had is gone. I had migraines for 2 weeks in a row and no longer have them. Y'all know about the migraines. I've been telling them the reason why I haven't been doing the episodes, doing the podcast, because I've had migraines for the past few weeks. I know I worked on one episode last week, but this whole week I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna take a break from it, and you know, I felt refreshed today, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna do an episode today about what happened, and it was definitely an experience. And if you're looking to get adjusted, you should definitely go get it now. Um, you were in a car accident. You were doing some stupid shit back when you were a teenager, like me. You did some jackass stuff. Yeah, definitely go get adjusted. If you're in the area, the Midwest, you should definitely go to Kennedy Avenue Chiropractor in Highland, Indiana. Highly recommended. What do I usually do on this podcast? I fucking review old episodes of wrestling, and I usually said 10 videotaped out of 10. Let's go with that. 10 VHS cassettes out of 10 for Kennedy Avenue Chiropractor in Highland. Y'all should check it out. Most definitely.
Hi, everyone. This is JJ, the co-founder of Good Pods. If you haven't heard of it yet, Good Pods is like Goodreads or Instagram, but for podcasts. It's new, it's social, it's different, and it's growing really fast. There are more than 2 million podcasts, and we know that it is impossible to figure out what to listen to. On Good Pods, you follow your friends and podcasters to see what they like. That is the #1 way to discover new shows and episodes. You can find Good Pods on the web or download the app. Happy listening.
If you're a new listener here, welcome. Hope you enjoyed the segment of wrestling with readjustments. I still don't know what to call it. I'm just going to say wrestling with diabetes again. I don't know. Wrestling with mental health. There you go. But if you're not new here and already are immune to my random burst of intangible word vomit, then you already know how this goes. I'm about to go on another side quest here because I want to make mention of the awesome people that have made this week's 3,800 downloads. No? Wait a minute. I celebrated 3,800 this past week. Monday, right? So this whole weekend, however, turned into 3,820 downloads. Booyah! So without further ado, the names of the awesome people that have made that happen. It's a lot this week because I haven't done an episode, so it's up to date now. The names are, and I'm gonna go in order. Goody Girl, John Decor, Jolene, Hydrangea Water, Psychologic Analysis, Messenger of Stupidity, Yo, it's Kyle, Miniature Dancer 51, Brenda Lamore 1, Menace Smiling, Royal Gamer Rights, Tommy the Gun, Giswick Ninja, LMFAO, Lust for Life, Elvin, Evolving Reina, Proud Borimex, Richard Murray Humbler, I2000 Blog, Crazy Beautiful One, the J Blue, good looking them, the illest creation, craving an escape, B-Dub still swirls, Nerdy Peaches, Babble V, Sunshine Soul Vibe, A is Danny, Nobody's Ugly, Hannah Time, Vibe Mother Kaz, Zach WWE, A Gal Named Bibbed, Fish Tank Vibes, Q Diva World, Pucks, Frenchie Bell, Dawn of the Times, Philly Millie, Romantic Neurosis, who has the same dog name as mine, Crypto, shout out to him. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Yeah, that's real. Eleni Dog, Act 257, Personality Database, Nerdy Recluse, Miss Arcane, Kitty Play 313, Sheepish Gob, The THC Ministry, Bim Swirl, Celestial Soul Tree, Original Loki Faded, California, RMS Baker, Magic Reigns, Kush Queen XO, Dean Bean 94, Mr. Dean Bean, that's my boy, Aquarius TV, Immelweeb, Highly Glamorous, Stop Asking Me Questions 66, TKO's Creations, which you will see in the show notes. She has some great jewelry, go check them out. Al Goodman, One Free, Wild Card 31, Hopeful Kid Weasel Eclipse, Gracie Girl 31, Celestial Soul Tree, OG Just Peachy, Zach WWE, my Abuelita Favorita, Kush Queen XO. Am I saying these again for some reason? Crazy 321, Ellis Clementine, Sensitive Angel, Life Coach 101, Official Lady Time, Leon Monet, JPEG Muse, Sam Doe, Dino 2017, Anarchin, Lisa's Journey, Personality Database again, the THC Ministry again, Flowers After Rainfall, Angelic, Super Activation, Breastfed Cigarette, Miss Blue Velvet, Spinks Mama 2, and Tired SF Kenny. That was a lot, and if I said your name twice, I might have just left it there during the edit. Who knows? Thank you for being in the live streams and holding it down for me, for your support, for following me, or even listening to the podcast. You guys are amazing. It's the only thing I can do is show you guys some love on this podcast. Oh, man, that's going to do it for us. Thank you for the support tonight. Those that have been listening, you can find us all on other sort of social or audio streaming platforms at our Linktree, linktree.com/From Under the Apron. It has the link to our blogs, our socials, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, plus any of your favorite audio streaming devices such as GoodPods, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio accounts, where you can listen to us as well as leave us a comment or a 5-star review, which helps us be discovered by other fans of wrestling and podcasts, as well as the 20 other music and podcast streaming services. If you haven't yet, please follow us on Spotify. We have 70 followers on there so far. We need 30 more, so give us a follow there. Put us up to 100. Let me know when you do by emailing me, and I will gladly shout you out on the podcast on the next episode. Check out the show notes for links to other podcast trailers that you heard on this episode. Send us a message of your favorite wrestling stories, questions, comments, ratings, or requests by email. It is from undertheapron@gmail.com, and I will do my best to get to them and answer accordingly. Thank you for listening, joining the live, staying the gifts, and being a huge part of this community. Tell your friends, please. Join us next time for more stories, movies, and TV show reviews, as well as wrestling-related stories when we come to you from Under the Apron. Crack addicts are going to love me.